If your face isn't covered in mayo when you're eating a lobster roll, what are you doing? Cheers. Happy summer.
Happy summer. Welcome to our show, Feel Good Food.
Where we make snacks, treats, and meals
that taste good,
but also make you feel good.
I'm Max.
I'm Lydia.
And today we're making an herby lobster roll.
The herbs that we're using today are dill and tarragon and chives. And interestingly enough, dill is my most used herb, I would say, in the kitchen, and tarragon is my least used herb.
And that is why they're perfect for each other.
I feel like a lobster roll is something that a lot of people order at a restaurant during the summertime, but it's actually super simple and easy to make at home. You'll see when you watch this episode how simple it is. So don't be discouraged or intimidated by a lobster roll.
No, it's very simple and it should really only take you about 20 minutes. All right, we have our beautiful lobsters here, and the first step in this process is just gonna be salting our water, and then we are going to kill the lobsters.
So a generous pinch of salt. Obviously lobsters are naturally salty because they come from the ocean, but you know, you always wanna salt your water.
So the first step in killing a lobster is to get your lobster on the chopping block.
Obviously, this is a difficult moment for many people, including myself, but the way Max is going to kill this lobster is the most humane and pain-free for it. So it will be a quick death.
There are a few things you can do also, which is to put your lobsters in the freezer just for about 10 to 20 minutes before you kill them, so they kind of like get a little sleepy and then it's a little less painful. So you just want to take your knife right in the middle of the skull, and with some strong force, push it through and then pull it down.
It still looks like it's moving. That's just like residual muscle twitches, so.
All right, so Lydia, if you want to get the first one in.
I'm gonna put the first one in. Obviously, this is a much better thing to do than put the lobster in alive to the steaming water.
And then we'll put the second one in. And then we'll just cook those, steam them out for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're fully cooked.
In the meantime, we're going to start picking our herbs for the dressing for this beautiful lobster roll.
So I will be picking dill and Lydia will be picking tarragon.
Actually, maybe it would be wonderful if you showed.
With tarragon, it's one of those very stemmy herbs, so you really can just grab it towards the top. The top is delicate, but maybe like one pinch down and you can just drag it. It's very similar with a lot of like woodier stemmed herbs.
Wait, what are you, woodier?
Woodier, like more like stick-like,
Oh,
like strong.
woodier,
Woodier.
Yes. Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the
Tarragon is an underutilized herb, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, at least for home cooks. I think
Maybe in our
restaurants use it a
house.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to use it. It's very lemony, very fresh, and it's really good with like butter sauces. Another thing that's like fatty and rich. It kind of like cuts through that and adds a little bit of like lemon verbena-esque flavor.
Has a bit of that anise, which is actually not my favorite thing, but Max and his mother love anise.
I love it. Let's take a look at the lobsters.
Okay, it's gonna steam for a sec. Ooh, sudsy. We're gonna get these out of the boiling water and into an ice bath. All right, there is one. And, oh gosh, you know what? They are heavy.
Yeah.
Max, what's the point of transferring them to a ice bath?
Ice bathing just stops the cooking process so you don't overcook. You do the same thing with like herbs. If you're blanching herbs, you want to ice bath them after so it kind of shocks them and doesn't like really destroy them. Just like a hard-boiled egg actually, or a soft-boiled egg.
And what would overcooked lobster meat like look or taste like?
I think it would just be kind of like dense. You know, when like any overcook any protein, I think it just gets denser and you kind of lose that natural juiciness that it would have cooked to the right temperature.
And we want juicy lobster rolls today.
Yeah.
So the lobsters are in their ice bath. We have these herbs that are in a cute little pile here. I'm gonna roughly chop these. Excuse me, Max. I'm not looking for a fine chop.
No, you're looking for a rough chop. You want your herbs to have like some bite to it rather than be just kind of like eviscerated into the mix of the mayo. Or at least that's how I like my herbs.
Yeah.
So this looks great.
So Max, do you want to do the honors with the serranos?
Yes, thank you very much. I will slice the serranos. We're just gonna go for some thin slices here, and don't worry about putting in seeds because we want the seeds because that'll bring some heat. Actually, this one is a bit straighter, which is a little bit easier to cut. So I'm gonna go for this one, just like on a slight bias, just to make it easier to slice.
A slight bias. That's chef talk, if I've ever heard it.
And we'll just add that in here.
Nice.
Don't let me touch my eyes.
Yeah, I did that once. I touched my eyes after chopping jalapenos and I had to put 2 shot glasses of milk over my, and you go like this. Poor memory.
I'm just gonna cut the ends of these chives off just because they're a little dry here. And I'll just set those aside. And I'm gonna cut these pretty thin, just because that's generally how you cut your chives. So let's just add these chives in here.
I wasn't lying, we're literally making a salad.
Yeah, it's a green salad. You could use this base fruit in a green smoothie.
Oh, yeah, wow. I'm not sure about that.
I like herbs in my smoothies. I have a more developed palate, you could say. Okay, so we have our beautiful herbs in here now, and we're just gonna add in our mayo, a little bit of lemon, and a little bit of mustard. So can you split that for me?
Yeah, I always roll my lemon before I cut it. Max thinks this is strange, but I think it just gets the juices juicy.
And then I'm just gonna take our mayo and just dump this in here.
Got a squeezer. This one's so cute. Looks kind of like a lemon, an extension of the lemon. That was a juicy squeeze.
You never want to over squeeze your lemons. That's actually something I didn't know. But if you over squeeze your lemons, then you'll start to get like that bitterness because you're like squeezing the pith and those essential oils out too hard. And you can end up with
Like bitterness.
This bitterness. And it happens a lot with limes more so
Yeah.
because they have more bitterness in that rind and that pith. So just be gentle when you squeeze your lemons.
I left one half of the lemon out just, to have some wiggle room if it is too acidic.
I'm gonna dump in some mustard too.
Oh yeah, nice.
Just a little bit for some tang. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt as well.
Okay, this is looking so good, and it will look even better when there's lobster in there.
Yeah, I wanna taste it.
Yeah, let's give it a try. That's really nice. Super fresh. Perfect for a beach day, a beach picnic.
And you really get that tarragon.
Yeah. I love Shipt, and here's why. We're busy bees. For example, I just got back from the London Marathon where I was training, traveling, working, filming, doing it all. On days when I'm flying, I sometimes don't have time to grab my last-minute toiletries or favorite travel snacks.
But with Shipt, which is included in our Target Circle 360 membership, you get access to same-day delivery and no price markups on local and national retailers. So we're getting back that time and saving a little extra too on the essentials we need for travel. I love ordering Shipt when we arrive to a new US town so we get all the snacks and things we need delivered without having to think about it too much.
My second favorite thing about Shipt, they have exclusive member-only discounts and sales. So I can get almost anything, and I mean almost anything, delivered to my door. These pillows are perfect for our dinner parties.
Or a pillow fight.
A sun hat for the beach days. Ooh, fabulous. Wow, I can't believe that fit in there. And like the real essentials for my training. And it's actually saving me money too. It's the little things.
Order now at shipt.com/360.
That's shipt.com/360.
Thanks,
Shipt.
All right, now we are on to the biggest part of this recipe, which is the lobster disassembly.
And it's gonna get messy, so Max, here's your apron.
You know, this is our first time, or at least my first time wearing an apron on this show.
It was kind of like something we discussed in depth when we first were concepting the show of Feel Good Food. And we decided we're gonna go no apron so we could show off our style.
There's yours,
Okay.
and here's mine.
My first step when I'm de-meating a lobster is taking off the tail.
I do a little twist and pull.
Oh.
And then you have all this beautiful meat here.
And then I took off these kind of flippers back here. And then that gives me a nice like access point in the back of the tail. And if I can do this well, it'll be really satisfying. Oh, there we go.
Whoa.
And that is how you get the meat out of a tail of a lobster.
It's impressive. But I was just gonna cut down one side of the lobster. Just kind of open it up like that. Okay, well, my technique, if anyone even cares,
If you even care.
is going pretty well, and it works just, look at that, boom.
Oh, nice.
Yours was maybe a little bit faster, but I think I ended up with the similar result. But I noticed you cleaned out your poop chute,
Oh, for sure.
and now I feel like I need to check mine. So I'm going in for an
I
incision.
look at him with the scissors. He's like a doctor over there.
Okay, so for this stage here, now that we have the big knuckle, I might use the old other side of the scissors technique here.
Okay.
Not working. I will use the other side of this knife. There we go. Now we're making a mess.
This is where the aprons are coming in handy.
Yeah, aprons come in handy here. And you just peel away, cut away, cut away. But your mission is to have as little bit of shell, like fragments, in your meat as possible also. Okay, I think I'm about to have a big reveal right here.
Unboxing. Wow, nice.
Look at that. It's a pretty successful claw removal. Hey, there you go.
Nice. Clean break. Oh, no. Here we go. Money shot. Wait, is it true? Isn't one claw of the lobster kind of,
Bigger?
yeah, thicker and harder and also has like, so yeah, this one has kind of like sharp grip, and then the other one had more of like a dull.
Yeah, one's like the cruncher and one is the delicate grabber. Are you done?
I'm done.
Where are your knuckles?
I did them already.
Oh, what?
I sliced in the cartilage.
Let's see.
The
yeah.
student becomes the teacher. That is a lot of beautiful lobster meat.
And we're about to anoint it with our beautiful lobster dressing here.
Yeah, we put the lobster dressing in the fridge while we did this. I was gonna ask you, cold lobster roll or hot lobster roll?
I like mine cold. I mean, it's summertime. I want something chilled, you know, refreshing.
We need to wash our hands. Okay, we are all cleaned up and it is time to chop the lobster. So I'm gonna actually cut this tail down the middle, and then I'm gonna go in and I think I'll probably want smaller pieces than this.
No, that looks good, even
Oh,
bigger,
really?
honestly. Yeah, I would go bigger. This is looking great. This is like, I'd say a finer chop on a lobster roll here. And then we're just gonna get it back in this bowl with our dressing, and then we're ready to rock.
All right, let's get this back in. Now the kind of final assembly moment of this, well, actually no, it's not the final, it's the penultimate assembly moment of this lobster roll.
We're just gonna add in our dressing, and I'm just gonna add it by spoonful, because I don't know if we're gonna need all of it necessarily.
But think about it, for summer hosting, you invite all your friends over for lobster rolls. I mean, that's a very generous thing to do. But if you have the budget for it, then in terms of time, this was such a quick thing. And now this is truly the final step of the lobster roll, which is putting the meat into the bun. And we're using, for plating, these beautiful Food52 plates that are both like classics and I feel very playful because
Very picnicky.
it kind of looks like a paper plate, but it's obviously a beautiful ceramic.
Pre-toasted, both sides, of course. You want a toasted bun.
Nice gold.
And then just spread it open.
Here, I'll spread for
Yeah.
you.
You don't want to be shorted on your lobster roll. I got shorted recently on a lobster roll on a vacation.
Oh my gosh, and I complained. I was such a Karen.
I mean, I think there was like, honestly, in the whole lobster roll, I think that's what we were
There was
looking at.
one piece, yeah.
And it was like $25 or $35.
Wow. Okay, I got my like fingy prints on it.
This is ideal. And then I like to top mine off with just a little bit of black pepper, just to finish. Just a little.
And I made a last minute request for potato chips, and Food52, the team here is amazing, and they brought me the potato chips. So, you know what I wanted to put on the side?
Oh.
Just for cute.
A lemon wedge.
And maybe you need it if you like things really lemony. That's sweet, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this is the touch. This is Michelin.
So we have our lobster rolls. They look so good. I cannot wait to dive in. I feel like every time we cook on this show, I'm so hungry by the end. So I'm really, truly so excited to eat this. Okay.
Look at that. That is the cross section of a proper lobster roll.
It's all over my face. Really, really good. If your face isn't covered in mayo when you're eating a lobster roll, what are you doing? What are you doing? Thank you for joining us on this episode of Feel Good Food. You can find this recipe at food52.com.
And we'll see you next time.